Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga etc. and I'm here today to bring the review for One Piece episode 986. Now, the cover has been blown. Obviously, it was blown last episode, but we see the after effects, if you will, of having the cover blown within this episode. So the cover is fully blown. Queen knows they're there. Scratcher Poo knows they're there, and essentially for the members of the Beast Pirates also know that Luffy is there. So knowing that Queen knowing that who they are, Luffy and Zoro, he's like basically alright, cool. Whoever captures them will be put into the Toboropo, and that's that crew with Drake and Page One, and we met them last episode. I think it was last episode anyway, but yeah, we met them last episode, and it's kind of hinted that Queen also has a problem with someone within the Toboropo, the Flying Six, and it's not told to us who it is. We are shown all of them one after the other when he does mention it, but it's safe to say that there's a love-hate relationship between the lead performers and the Toboropo, and it might not be between all of them, but I get the feeling of some mutual love-hate in those two groups. So the most interesting thing, I guess you could say, to come out of this episode is exploring Scratch Apu's Devil Fruit ability a bit further. And from what we from what we see within this episode, it seems, and just via talk as well, that was mentioned during the fight, quote unquote fight, the attacking of Scratcher-Poo. It seems like his attacks are very instant, they're instantaneous, and there's no indication of the attack coming. It's just more like boom, scratch, and then the attack is hit, and there will be more of an explanation to come like further along down the lines. But when this moment hit in the manga, it brought up a lot of debate of just how strong is Scratch really, because like I said previously, he was able to land attacks instantaneously on both Luffy and Zoro, and more so this debate started to happen because via it be it was just for a little bit, he was able to knock out Luffy. This little display that was shown to us within this episode, and with the prior knowledge of how Scratcher Poo's Devil Fruit does work, it didn't really change where I would place him in, like, the pecking order of the worst generations, strongest to weakest kind of thing. But like I said, it did catch some people by surprise, and it did like stir some debate within the fandom. So for anime only watchers, how do you feel about Apu now? Did, like, seeing him knock out Luffy, get hits in on Zoro and Luffy as well, did that change your mind on just how strong you thought he actually was? One thing though that I did hate about the episode, no, not hate, but just disliked really, it may have happened like this, but you don't see it within the manga, so it makes you feel a kind of way. And that is at least I don't remember it being like this in the manga, and that is the continuous hitting that Scratch was able to get on Luffy and Zoro. And now within the manga, from my memory, he hit Zoro once and hit Luffy twice, knocking him out, and then Zoro's like, alright, cool, I got let's go get out of here. That's what I remember from my memory. And I feel like it should have, if that was the case, I feel like it should have stayed true to how it was within the manga, simply because, and I've said this in the past about other things, it makes Luffy and Zoro look weaker, but at the same time it makes Scratcher Poo seem a bit more of a boss, and he's not. He's really not. So that happens now, and on the other side of things, we have Kid. He hears Scratch talking, and now he remembers that Scratch did him dirty. So obviously he's got a bit of rage going on with him. And now throughout the Kid stuff, we have him remembering when Kaido fell through the sky. And that's fine and all. He probably was thinking about those things, but I feel like if we're gonna flash back to it, at least show us something we didn't see. like little bits of it that we didn't see, like I don't know, maybe Kid attacking, maybe Hawkins on his cards thinking that nah, I'm not gonna attack. Maybe seeing, well, let me not say that because I'm not quite 100% sure that's been revealed yet. I don't know, but yeah, but you get my point. They could have showed things to us that we didn't essentially see within like, you know, that we haven't seen already, because if I'm remembering correctly in the manga, Kid doesn't flash back to remember it. It's just that something we know. Like it's not something that we would forget. That's why you usually see flashbacks, just to general reminders. But I feel like this flashback was a bit longer than it needed to be. So another thing that I dislike about this episode is the build up to Kid actually attacking Apu, and why I didn't like it is because in the manga it was more instantaneous. It was more of a Kid seeing Apu, realizing it's him, running towards him while building up his arm and attacking. There was no, at least from my memory anyway, and I'm pretty sure about this, over 50% sure, there was no Kid jumping down. There was no Kid, and now I understand why they did it, why they do it. Having Kid like raise his arm, and the metal slowly built up to form his metallic arm. I understand why they do it. They're trying to make it look cool. They're trying to like build on the impact and the hype of, oh my gosh, Kid is using this ability. You know, things about to get real kind of thing. But realistically, especially for a small arm like that, it shouldn't take him that long to build up. It should be, not, I'm not saying it should be instantaneous, but it shouldn't be that long. It shouldn't take that long, because all that time is basically leaving Kid open up for attack. And in the context of this episode, it kind of takes away from the bit where Apu's like, Kid? I'm thinking to myself, when that happened within this episode, I'm thinking to myself, why are you shocked, bro? You saw him jump down. You saw him there building up for time. What are you shocked about, bro? So that's why I didn't like the build up to Kid building up his arm within this episode. I feel like it takes away from the impact, definitely slows down the pacing of that little scene with Kid attacking with his arm. I noticed a bit of CGI in there as well, and I'm not the biggest fan of CGI, so I wasn't feeling the Punk Gibson. Was it the Punk Gibson? I think it was the Punk Gibson. So yeah, but yeah, overall I wasn't feeling the Punk Gibson for those reasons. But that was everything to happen within the episode. Pretty faithful to the manga. Did draw out in some places. Do I want to say that? No, but that can come later. I was going to say I would have liked some more of the Luffy, more of a fight between Luffy, Scratch and Zoro, but that can still come later, and probably for some Kid in there as well, but that can still come later, so I'll hold off on that for now. So for those reasons, I'm going to give it, I think it scrapes a 3-star rating. Like always guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, but most importantly, take care, have a nice day.